right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Chilly change. Tonight's showers and thunderstorms signaling a drastic change from this weekend's warmth.
Providing protection. As masks come off, the immunocompromised grow more concerned. The drug that can help shield the most vulnerable. But first, a fatal shooting outside a school.
I feel like they shouldn't let any students go tomorrow.
What police say happened and what parents need to know. Good evening, I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. St. Louis County Police found a man shot to death in the parking lot of Hazelwood Central High School. Our Pepper Baker joins us now with what she's learned about the investigation. Pepper.
Mike, County Police say they found an adult male who died from a gunshot wound at around 6:30 this morning. The police in the Hazelwood School District say this incident has no ties to the school in any way, but one parent is still uneasy about sending her daughter to school tomorrow.
It makes me scared, for her to go to school for safety.
Natasha Hawkins got a call from her daughter's school around 8 Sunday morning that somebody was found dead in the Hazelwood Central High School parking lot.
It said it was a tragic accident this morning. They didn't say any specific details they just said they found a body by the school. My reaction was like, why is this happening?
St. Louis County Police got a call around 6:30 Sunday morning for a shooting. They found an adult man shot and killed in the parking lot. The Hazelwood School District posted a statement saying the incident had no connection to the school activity, and that the campus is safe.
I don't believe that.
In the meantime, Hawkins believes the district should cancel classes on Monday until more information is available.
I feel like they shouldn't let any students go tomorrow because this is fresh for today. Yeah, it's just not appropriate, I don't think, for them to go tomorrow.
Now, police have not released the name of the victim or identified a suspect. If you have any information, call the St. Louis County Police Department at 636-529-8210.
Pepper, thanks. St. Louis City Police are investigating a deadly shooting. It happened overnight outside a gas station at North Florissant and Chambers, just north of downtown. Someone dropped the victim off at the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 866-371-TIPS, and you can remain anonymous.
Rain and some thunderstorms moving through the St. Louis area. It's ushering in some cooler weather as we kick off the work week. Let's get to Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell.
We had a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings earlier this evening farther south of St. Louis, but even there we didn't get any reports of severe weather out of those storms. And even the lightning now has really diminished off to the south of St. Louis with that cluster of thunderstorms. You're looking south here, southwest from Arnold, where it's 59 degrees. The roads are wet in the metro, but the heavier rain is off to our south. Now you see it's still a pretty good light show. You get over towards Mount Vernon and look east on Interstate 64, and there's another cluster of pretty intense weather heading up into Dent County, southwest of St. Louis. These are just downpours on the road from Waterloo over to New Athens. That's headed towards Mascoutah and Shiloh. You have some more downpours around Farmington, heading west back out towards Viburnum metro area. More lighter showers drifting through, and then you have this area of rain coming up 44 right now, and those stronger storms kind of noisy as you get down towards Salem at this point, where temperatures have dropped back into the 50s west of St. Louis, still 60 degrees in the metro area. Not a severe weather threat here as we head through the evening hours, although we will have the chance for a few rumbles of thunder, but there will be rain showers overnight. There's still technically a flood watch down in the Rolla area, but it looks like that threat's going to be mainly farther south. It will be much cooler tomorrow. We're going to detail that, talk about the possibility that some of us may even see a bit of a frost this week. That possibility is there, Mike.
All right, Scott, we'll check back. The mother of a St. Louis teen killed on an amusement park ride in Orlando plans to file a wrongful death lawsuit tomorrow. We're told multiple businesses will be named in the lawsuit. Nakia Dodd, the mother of 14-year-old Tyre Sampson, is expected to speak publicly for the first time at a news conference on Tuesday. A recent report found the ride's operator manually adjusted the seat's safety sensor, allowing more room for riders who exceeded the weight limit.
The community is coming together to help people who lost everything when their homes were destroyed by fire. 3 homes caught fire yesterday afternoon in the Ellendale neighborhood off I-44 in Hampton. A GoFundMe has been set up for the victims. Small Change, that's a bar in the Benton Park neighborhood, is also taking clothing and shoe donations. One of the victims works at the bar.
He's been such a blessing here at Small Change and just in the community at large in general. and so how can you not?
You know, I think their lives were just mostly, all their stuff is gone, their house is gone, everything in it's gone. And I think we're just trying to make this tragedy just a little bit easier for them.
The victims are still looking for their cats. The cause of the fire is under investigation.
Protests in Paris tonight following the re-election of Emmanuel Macron as the president of France. Macron becomes one of just 3 French presidents who have been successfully re-elected and the first in 20 years. He beat his challenger by a 16-point margin, but still there was an unprecedented showing for a far right-wing candidate. No official confirmation from the White House tonight, but Ukrainian officials said U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin were in Kyiv today to meet with President Zelensky. It's the first time since the conflict with Russia began that any cabinet-level official has set foot in Ukraine. The country's celebration of Orthodox Easter today was marred by more air raids and more reports of fatalities, including children.
China is hardening its strict zero-COVID approach in its largest city, Shanghai. Fences have gone up to block off streets and entrances to apartment buildings. Some residents are fighting back by tearing down those barricades. China reported more than 21,000 cases today. A majority of those people were asymptomatic. Back here in the United States, COVID-19 cases fueled by the BA.2 variant, they've jumped more than 50% nationwide in the last 2 weeks. But hospitalizations remain at the lowest levels of the pandemic. The White House COVID-19 coordinator says there is cause for concern, but not panic. He says we're in a much better place than a year ago because of vaccinations and therapeutics.
We are going to have to change our behavior and respond in a different way as the pandemic evolves. And I think at this point, responding with care and caution, but not overreacting is critical.
There is still not a vaccine approved for children under the age of 5. Moderna is expected to file for emergency use authorization this week. While cases are on the rise, mask mandates have been stripped away.
And for the most vulnerable, their chances of getting the virus is even higher now. New tonight, our Justina Cornell spoke with a local doctor about a new treatment for immunocompromised patients.
I think it's still a really scary time. I am immunocompromised. I take immunosuppressant medication. I have autoimmune myocarditis. So I've been on those medications for about 4 years.
For Lily McMorrow, her guard is up as masks go down.
Mandates have eliminated and the pandemic has taken a turn into this new phase of less mask wearing.
Knowing that people are starting to take masks off when they go on airplanes and things like that, for me, that means that I won't be able to travel. I'll have to be extra careful because my community isn't being extra careful for me.
24-year-old McMorrow knows she can't risk it.
I actually didn't produce very many antibodies to the vaccine, and I caught COVID after being fully vaccinated in December, and I was hospitalized. And even after that infection, I didn't produce any antibodies. So I have very little protection.
However, a new COVID therapy is giving her a new sense of hope.
Evusheld is probably the most exciting thing that has happened for a while.
Washington University physician Dr. Alfred Kim wants to make sure people know about Evusheld.
We were a little surprised that some patients and even some healthcare providers were unaware that this product is out there.
The therapy is a pair of monoclonal antibody injections designed to prevent COVID-19.
The clinical trial data showed that there was about 77% reduction in infection rates in people given Evusheld. This is not meant to be a substitute for the vaccine. This is to help amplify the pre-existing vaccine responses, which still are probably going to be attenuated. So again, this fills in that gap.
McMorrow received her dosage earlier this month. It's empowering her with a better fight, paired with some relief.
Definitely given me a little bit of peace of mind.
Justina Cornell, 5 on your side.
The WashU doctor says to ask your physician if Evusheld is right for you. He recommends asking sooner rather than later. That's because White House officials recently announced the purchase of more doses may be scaled back without new federal funding.
Substance abuse prevention experts say the need for their services post-pandemic has never been greater. Requests for Narcan and fentanyl test strips have multiplied by a factor of 4 since January. Today, Faith Oakville Lutheran Church replaced its Sunday services with a walk to stomp out the addiction.
I don't know why, but if you've got cancer, people will openly kind of come up and say they've got something going on and allow you to care for them. But with addiction, sometimes people feel like they want to hide it. And so we're just trying to make it okay to talk about it.
Organizations were also on hand with information on treatment programs. There was also training on Narcan, a drug that can reverse the effects of a narcotic overdose.
I just sort of felt like this connection to Children's Hospital.
She's studying fashion at Fontbonne. Now she's redesigning her career path and making a difference after the special care her brother received.
The stronger showers and thunderstorms expected to stay out of the St. Louis area as we head through the overnight hours, but still some downpours possible. We're tracking the cooler temperatures for the week ahead and our next chance for rain as we head towards the upcoming weekend.
Coming up on Sports Plus, will the St. Louis Blues remain unstoppable? Will the Cardinals get the sweep? And are the basketball Billikens a top 25 squad today after getting some very good news? Travis Ford tells us about this incredible week. Plus, he's coming off the best recruiting class in the history of the Mizzou football program. Our special guest in studio, Eli Drinkwitz. I asked him for his fantasy on September 1st in the opener against Louisiana Tech.
Shoot, it wouldn't bother me if we return the opening kickoff for a touchdown. I mean, they do call him Touchdown Luther, but I'm not sure he'll be the guy back there. I'd like to see our defense continue to improve, play very physical up front, stop the run, play really good in situational football, and then offensively just play with some rhythm, be attacking, and then execute at a high level.
You're not asking for much.
No, I'm asking for the perfect football game, which is what we work for, how hard we work every day.
Plus, Dennis Gates gives us his vision for the Mizzou basketball program. It's NFL Draft Week, and we profile a St. Louis product who hopes to hear his name called. That's Sports Plus, coming up in 20 minutes.
A biker was hit by a truck and rushed to St. Louis Children's Hospital. He's okay now, but as you'll learn in tonight's Making a Difference report, while he was there, a special person inspired his sister to help other kids in the hospital. And 2 years later, she's still helping. At Fontbonne University, Tamar Adler is designing her new destiny.
I love studying fashion and I absolutely love Fontbonne.
The 22-year-old is majoring in fashion merchandising. But as she gets closer to graduation, she's decided to walk down a different runway. Her life changed 2 years ago when her younger brother Avi, who was out on a bike ride, was hit by a truck.
When we got there, Avi was actually underneath a delivery truck. He'd been hit by a delivery truck that had decided to reverse.
Avi was rushed to St. Louis Children's Hospital. A panicked Tamar wanted to see him, but because of the pandemic, she wasn't allowed in. Hours later, she finally heard from her parents.
And I said to Tamar, I said, we met this incredible person and she changed the day for us.
The person who changed the day was a child life specialist like Jenny Brandt.
It can be a scary place inside the hospital, and we help children learn ways to manage their anxieties or their fears.
A clinically trained child life specialist might use crafts or play or even just conversation.
So exciting!
To help young people cope.
She came into Avi's room and she calmed him down and she started talking to Avi about what was coming up in his life and where he was going to college.
Avi had a concussion and some broken bones, but was able to pretty much walk away from the accident. Tamar, however, couldn't walk away.
So your brother gets out, he's doing okay, and yet you keep it going. How come?
I just sort of felt like this connection to Children's Hospital.
For the last 2 years, she's been using the creativity that got her interested in fashion to tailor special gifts for kids in the hospital. She packages individual craft bags with messages of hope inside.
You got a bird too!
For kids like Rhineley Taylor, who is awaiting a bone marrow transplant, the crafts have been a nice distraction.
She loves doing crafts, so anything to keep her busy while having a long day here is great.
So pretty.
To date, Tamar has donated more than 3,000 craft bags for kids like Rhineley.
Can I have a kiss?
And she started her own charity called Cheery Charlie, named after her adorable dog, Charlie.
Good boy, Charlie. My plan is now to actually go to graduate school for child life. I was recently accepted to Missouri State.
That's right. Tamar now wants to become a child life specialist.
It touches me tremendously, honestly. To know that there are people that want to come up into this profession, it will keep us going strong long into the future.
She just wanted to say thank you for taking care of her brother. And now kids in the hospital are thanking her.
When you hear that, what does that mean to you?
Makes me feel so good.
Tamar Adler showing us all that giving back never goes out of style.
I'm incredibly proud.
Kindness leading to more kindness. A reminder, if you know someone inspiring or someone making a difference for others, let me know. Send an email to mbush@ksdk.com.
A local church is celebrating a quarter of a century of helping people fulfill their dream of home ownership. Mohab, a ministry of Manchester United Methodist Church, has raised money for Habitat for Humanity for 25 years. They do it through a series of bicycle rides, including an annual 250-mile ride along the Katy Trail, or historic Route 66 in Illinois.
I like to emphasize in our weekly bicycle rides that we should not take our own homes for granted. Here we are out in, affluent West County, and there are not people who are that fortunate.
In the last 25 years, the group has raised $400,000, which paid for 400 homes.
All right, you heard Scott talking before. Scott was saying that we could see some frost, and I know we're going to see some showers, Scott.
Yeah, we got the showers tonight. The cooler air is coming in. If you've been outside, you know it's not near 80 like it was earlier today. We are tracking rain off Highway 44 right now, all the way from Springfield through Lebanon, through Fort Leonard Wood to Rolla, now working up through Cuba. And there's even some heavier thunderstorms that are rolling here across Dent County, but they're not severe. So that's the good news. But you're still going to get some pretty good downpours here coming into southern portions of Crawford County, down near Cook Station. That's going to move over towards Cotaway and eventually up towards Potosi as all of this lifts northeast. We've still got some rain down around Farmington right now, coming down at a pretty good clip. And some of these showers here on the Illinois side, moving across St. Clair County, they'll be heading into eastern portions of Madison County. You got to believe these farm fields east of St. Louis don't need any more water. But there's just a bit more coming tonight. As we look out into St. Charles, this is mostly lighter rain pushing in from New Melly back towards Lake St. Louis and Wentzville. A lot lighter than what we saw coming through that area earlier this afternoon and into early this evening. Everything's moving northeast. This will be the last of it as we head through the next few hours. Looking out into St. Charles right now, you can see the rain coming down, even though it's on the light side. Low 60s there. Looking at North St. Louis County, right at 60 degrees here in Florissant. Yes, the roads are damp at this point around the metro St. Louis area, and they'll stay that way for a while longer before these showers and some rumbles get out of here. 60 degrees at Lambert right now. The front is through St. Louis. Winds have now turned to the west-northwest. They're not as strong as they were. 79 for the high today. 60 now, our new low temperature. You see all those showers and thunderstorms down to our south and southeast, more across parts of Arkansas, back into Oklahoma. Everything's lifting northeastbound. In fact, a lot of the rain's actually behind this front that is now south and east of St. Louis. And the big weather system responsible for all of this actually brought a lot of snow to parts of North Dakota. Now it's circulating that cooler air in our general direction. That's what we'll be dealing with for the next couple of days. So through the remainder of the night tonight, we'll see showers and thunderstorms, especially south and east of St. Louis. They'll tend to taper off tomorrow morning. Little rain for the morning rush hours scattered about. And then the afternoon hours, it becomes partly cloudy. We're back into the low 60s, so a lot cooler than what we saw today. Tomorrow night under clear skies, though, in the metro area, upper 30s around 40 degrees. If there's just a little bit of a breeze and a few clouds, we'll probably dodge our frost chances. But outlying areas both tomorrow night and then especially east of St. Louis, Tuesday night into early Wednesday, there may be some patches of frost. So if you went all wild planning this weekend, you may have to take a few precautions if you're in one of those frost-prone areas. By the end of the week, we won't have to worry about that back into the 70s.
I keep waiting because we have had just so many frosts and ups and downs.
This should be it.
Okay.
He says again.
All right. Thank you, Scott.
Well, Twitter may be changing its tune. The reason officials are now considering a takeover by Elon Musk. After a day-long delay, NASA, SpaceX, and Axiom Space finally unlocked a SpaceX Dragon and its 4-man crew from the International Space Station. The undocking was postponed due to high winds at splashdown sites. The world's first all-private crew to the ISS is expected to reach splashdown tomorrow afternoon.
Twitter could be changing its tune when it comes to a takeover bid from SpaceX founder Elon Musk. This after the billionaire announced he has secured more than $46 billion in financing. The social media company adopted a limited duration shareholder rights plan. They did that about 10 days ago. That's also known as a poison pill to avoid a hostile takeover. But now reports say executives are open to negotiating. A second Amazon warehouse in the country is set to join a union. Today, Senator Bernie Sanders and Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez held a rally outside a sorting facility in Staten Island, New York. Workers there will begin voting tomorrow. Amazon has filed an appeal accusing the National Labor Relations Board of unfairly and inappropriately facilitating the union's win.
Missouri Senator Roy Blunt was on NBC's Meet the Press this morning. He was asked if he would vote Republican in the 2024 presidential election if Donald Trump is the nominee.
It's a long time between now and then. Overnight's a long time in politics, and so I can't imagine that I won't. You know, Donald Trump got elected because he satisfied people's need to send a message about their frustration with government. If he's the nominee again, that'll be because people are still frustrated with government, and there aren't other Republicans who meet that need. We'll just have to see what happens between now and then.
Senator Blunt is not running for re-election. His term ends in January.
The pandemic has taught us some healthy habits, but it's also driving some unhealthy ones too. The pandemic has cemented Americans' love for fried foods. According to the Wall Street Journal, fast food orders for French fries and fried chicken are soaring. Sales of home air fryers have also surged. You might want to pick up a Powerball ticket tomorrow. The jackpot for Monday night's drawing has grown to $421 million. No one matched all 6 numbers in last night's drawing. Ticket sales end at 8:59 tomorrow night on both sides of the river.
Festus Brewery is releasing a new brew this week, celebrating the Negro League Baseball Museum. First series of cans features Satchel Paige from his time on 4 different teams. Main and Mill Brewing Company says it's an American-style Pilsner, and it should hit store shelves in Missouri this week. And there you have it, 5 on your side at 10.
Now here is Frank Cusimano with Sports Plus.